All right, folks, listen, I got a little energy right now because we finna close, right? Now, you got to have desserts along with your proteins, and all of that. So this one I think you guys going to like. Today, I'm finna show you how to make $1 million pound cake. And when I say $1 million, man, I mean $1 million / Thanksgiving / Christmas / make this every week. I'm out, y'all. Not for real. Let's get it. All right, so look, we kind of like gonna go over some of these ingredients. I'm gonna just tell you guys a few key things that, when we baking, you wanna make sure your butter is at room temperature. Look, see how soft this is? You want it to be at room temperature. Ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna be able to put this in no mixer or use no hand mixer or anything like that. You know what I mean? It'll just be beating it up. Trust me, folks, I done learned that the hard way. Now, look, I got a half a lemon right here and I got some milk. This was whole milk, but because I like to use buttermilk, I went ahead and took, this is a little pro tip. I took this and a half of this little small lemon, strained it out, dropped the lemon juice in there, let it sit up for 5 minutes, and guess what, folks? Look inside there right now. Now we got buttermilk. If you guys didn't know that, let me know down in the comment section below. You didn't know that you could take whole milk and lemon juice and make buttermilk, but now you do. All right, so put that over there. Then right here, we got 6 eggs. We got vanilla extract. Don't forget, I made my own vanilla extract. I don't use that no more. I started using this after I had learned how to do it. You know what I mean? This is the way you want to go, folks. And there's a link on my website, which is at smokinandgrillinwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Now, over here, looking like it's water in there, that's almond extract, right? That's next coming to the website. Listen, making stuff, they cool, things that you can do with your spouse, loved one, side piece, whoever you with, you can just make that, right? Now, obviously, if you look over here, I'm gonna be using my, my stand mixer. I got my paddle, we got our whisk. You're gonna need both of these, folks. All right. Then over here, I went ahead and saved some time right now. This is my flour, obviously. But check it out, I already pre-sifted this. This is ready to go. Don't wanna drop it, because it's nice and airy and ready to go. And over here, what is this? Ding, 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 pay y'all down in the comment section below. Yes, that right there is just granulated sugar. Now, I'm gonna be using a bundt cake. Excuse me, a bundt pan. You see this right here? This is gonna be your best friend. Now, I grew up when my grandmama not doing this. She would take soft butter, take it around the pan, get it nice and buttery, then drop some flour in there. Just listen to that, it's time consuming. Drop that in there and you're doing this, making sure that the flour sticks to the butter so you don't have nothing to stick, right? This right here is everything you need all in one spray. Trust me, simple is better, folks. Hey, with that being said, let's go ahead and make this. And don't forget, this that $1 million ooh-wee. All right, so look, I'm gonna show you how this works. Just like does that little spray flour, right? So we take it, make sure you shake it. You see that right there? Look how it is, like that, look, like a spray flour / butter, right? You want to get it everywhere. You don't want nothing to stick. All right, so look, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work with that softened butter, right? If you guys didn't soften your butter, you might as well just wait a minute. This right here is key, right? So we get that in there. I'm not gonna bore you guys. Let me get all of these in here. So look, you just want to get yourself 4 of these inside of here. They all soft. And you want to get all that butter. That's why I'm using my spatula. All right, now we come with our almond extract. And then we come with our vanilla extract. I feel like I got a little residue, in there, and it didn't all get in there. It's just that I like this so much. And I made it, and it's like aged just right. Oh, there you go, folks. This right here is that premium. If I was gonna sell this whole thing right here, is this went almost 4 months, you guys. I would probably say I'd be asking like about $50 for this. You guys make it yourself, man. You'll see the difference. All right, now look, obviously you can see that I just put on my, my whisk attachment, right? I'm going to do this at a medium high. We're gonna do this for about 5 minutes, right? So I'm gonna let this work. So let me go ahead and just get this going. I started off like this first, and I ease up to it. All right, so while we having that working, look, we just multitask a little bit. So now we come over here and then check this out. We're gonna hit bake. We're gonna go 300 degrees. When you see low temperatures like that should tell you off the back, we're gonna go a little longer, right? So now we're gonna start it. All right, so I had a timer set, it's right at 5 minutes. Look at how airy that is down there, right? So this is what you wanna make sure that you see. I'm getting ready to change my attachment now. I can still see butter on here. Well, we're gonna get all of that out of there anyway. What you wanna do is just clean this and get as much as your vanilla extract and almond extract and your butter, right? You just wanna get as much of this back into the pan, your bowl as possible. Now I'm getting ready to put on a paddle. All right, as you can see, I got my paddle on, right? Now that I have this in here, I kind of like scraped the side to get any butter or anything else that didn't quite mix. I'm getting ready to bring this up to high, then we're gonna start adding our sugar. High, and then I reduce it back down to a medium high. Now we get our granulated sugar, and we just add it in slowly. Look at that, that's super airy. This is what you want. When making this pound cake, you want it to look just like that, folks. And that right there happened to be good because we done hit it with a little bit of that sugar, right? Now I'm gonna turn this back on, but I wanna show you that I got a bowl right here. I'm gonna crack my egg, make sure it doesn't have no eggshell, and then I'm gonna put them in here. We're gonna do that one at a time, right? And we're going back to the same medium-high speed. Let's get it. All right, so look, I just turned it off because I had it on, like the medium high, right? I just scraped the sides. Let's do it again so you guys can see. You scrape these sides, right? And then you just wipe it on your paddle. Clean your spatula up. All right, now I'm gonna put this back on high for maybe like medium high, maybe like 1 minute, then we're gonna reduce it down to low. That's when we're gonna start adding the last few ingredients. Actually, it's not a few, it's just 2. Listen, we're gonna go flour, milk, flour, milk, flour. But you gotta have it on low. If you don't, you finna look like that episode of Lucy when she was working at that one of them places or whatever, when she had that flour all over the place. That's why we drop it down to low. All right, we up. Turn it on high for 1 minute. Medium high. All right, so listen right now. I just reduced it down to low, right? On my mixer, it only go up to 10. Instead of me using 2, that's like super low. Look at that, listen at the hum. I use 3. Now, this part gonna be a little bit, I don't wanna say it's tricky, but it is, but it's not. I sifted through this, and this is all-purpose flour. Check me out. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of this, and I'm gonna give you the cadence. It's flour, milk, a little bit more flour, then a little bit more milk, and then we're gonna end with the flour. But check, I want you to notice this. We only got 3/4 cup of this buttermilk right here. So when we say milk, we mean flour splash, flowers, I guess, the remainder, and then boom. Got it? Let's get it. All right, so here we go. A little bit at a time. Ready? Flour. Now we come, just a little bit of milk, just enough to get it a little bit on the wet side. I can see the way it chunk all up like that. Don't forget, we made this, folks. So, if it's been sitting up a minute, buttermilk. All right, let's go ahead and loosen it up. Come back with a little bit more flour. Here we go again with the milk. I'll let that work. You see it coming together now? Look at that. Now we're finna come with a little bit more flour. Remember, I want to end with flour, so I'm looking at what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna let this run for about maybe like 1 more minute. Then if you guys look around here, look, you can see all of the flour over there. You know what I'm finna do. I'm finna lower it down. I'm finna work my spatula, work all of that off. We don't wanna see no flour, get everything in the middle, so we can remix, put it in there, continue that, and then after that, it's time to hit that greased bun pan. All right, now look, I just scraped the sides, right? Make sure we don't have no more flour, kind of like cleaned up around, my work area. Put this back on low. 3's good. But look at it that way. If you guys ever made a pound cake, that should look real familiar to you. You know what I mean? But listen, if you use the numbers I'm giving you, I promise you, something spectacular is gonna come out of here. Now, I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna give it about another 30 more seconds, and we finna take this out, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill this up. We've already sprayed it, it's sat up. I'm double checking, making sure I don't have no dry spots. That means it's all done. AB, you finally did it right. All right, let's drop this down. Let me get this set up. All we're getting ready to do now is, you know what? Let me do this part. I'm gonna get me a little bit of this batter. I don't know about y'all, So let me go ahead and get my setup right now. All right, so, ooh, this is done right. Now I'm not finna be that guy, you know what I mean, that took it all. But I'm gonna go ahead and give me just a little bit. Talk to me down in the comment section below. How many times do y'all remember, you know, back in the day, you know, cooking with your mama, your grandpa, your grandmama, or your grandpops, you know what I mean? However that went, you remember doing this? Your granny give you this and tell you, get out the kitchen. Now go on, you see that? That's all me. Now, let's get around these sides, get everything towards the middle. And now, we just want to take this, transfer it into that, and then let it settle a little bit, right? So first I'm gonna start doing this. Only because I don't want it to be like super sloppy, right? I try to get it on the sides. Yes, I could have got myself a spoon, but when it's thick like this is how you know it's gonna come out right. All right, so once you got it in here like this, right? I like to just tap it a couple of times, get it to like settle, and I do a little shake, a little shimmy right here, and we good. Now listen, my oven is already up to temp. It's been up for a minute. Now we're just gonna stick this in here, and this right here is gonna be key. We're gonna put this in the oven, right, for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It probably take about 1 hour and 45, but I wanna see where I'm at, right? I put this right here in the center. Notice where I got my, you know, my shelving at. It's right there. Those where my racks are. Put this over the top, set my timer for 1.5 hours, and I'll see y'all then. Okay, so look, as you can see, let me move this out the way. Here we go. I got it out. I done made a couple of these, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So we have it right here. Now we finna go ahead and, you know, conquer this, what am I gonna say? We're gonna conquer this icing. Now you guys can do a caramel icing if that's what you want. You know, like just make some caramel. You know, I got plenty of videos on how to do that. You know, checking any of them cheesecakes, I always put one in there. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But if you're looking for something that's gonna hit them in their face, this is it right here, right? So what you wanna do is start by melting your butter. I'm gonna add a little bit of this vanilla extract. Don't forget, this is on my website, folks. You just put this in here like that. Just mix this together. Now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to add, now this is powdered sugar. Some of you guys call it confectionate sugar. You know what I mean? We're gonna go ahead and put a couple of tablespoons, excuse me. We're gonna put 1.5 cups. That'll do it. Man, this stuff light and airy. Be careful to get it all over your place, right? Now I really don't have to have nothing measured out, really. We ain't gotta run nothing over the top. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me show you why. Now I'm gonna just get this going. Now we're ready to turn this off, right? Now, keep going like that, then we're gonna add a couple of tablespoons, you know what I mean, of milk to it. Then we're gonna get the consistency that we want, right? Look at that right there. Watch how this come together. You wanna keep whisking, you don't want no lumps, obviously, right? Just work all this in here together like this. We just keep moving it back and forth. You'll see how like it was a little lumpy. As I whisk, it goes away. Then we just want to reach the consistency that we want. Now, let's just say it was too like liquefied for you. You can always add yourself like a tablespoon at a time of the confectioner's, you know, sugar, and that'll thicken it up. All right, so here we are. Okay, so you just saw me go ahead and hit it with the icing. You know what I mean? When it's warm and you just made it, you know, you had it already on your stove, you pour it over top, you'll see it drape and drip just like what you see right here. Now, this one right here, I'm not finna cut it. I went ahead and make a couple of these. As you can see, look at what it looked like right there. Hey, listen, it's super moist. You guys try it, let me know. If you ain't ever made pound cake, when you eat this one right here, you be like, man, I didn't know. It's the same thing with that peach cobbler. Super easy. Now, with that being said, listen, if you're new to my channel, let me just take the time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there. There's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And look, don't leave yet. I want you guys to pat yourselves on the back because listen, we almost done with Vlog Feast, right? So with that being said, you know how I leave all my videos. I don't know why I got these in my hand, but guess what? I'm out. Peace.